Capricorns, welcome to the channel. So I'll be doing a standard Celtic cross today. Moon is in Libra, about to transition to Scorpio. I've been thinking a lot about Capricorn moons today. I recently found out that someone else I know who I like is a Capricorn moon, and a couple of my other close friends. I wasn't really ready for this. So maybe kind of what's going on here is, so King of Wands and Eight of Swords. So having feeling a fiery, passionate, confident energy, but also kind of feeling stuck. Like you can't get out of something that you can. I wonder if that'll have to do with your read or not. Feeling delayed, overwhelmed kind of by the challenges or voices who are, challenged by having to stand up for your beliefs, and maybe, getting a little bit lost in nostalgia. Kind of going back to the past. And like maybe feeling like there's something there to be reworked. So interesting. Sometimes I feel like I shouldn't shuffle until I stop talking, but like this is definitely a Capricorn read, so I'm going to take that to maybe be like a framing of what's going to happen for the reading, but maybe not, and we'll see. And so Capricorn is the cardinal earth, the bones, the skeleton, the knees. I feel like this is probably painful for Capricorns, what's happening right now with the world, with the floods and the fires and stuff. I feel like Earth signs are going to feel that maybe a little bit more than other people in general, although we're going to feel all of it because the Earth is really all of the elements. But, the land is being destroyed. But we didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning. Capricorn, catch a cross, please, for Capricorn. I should get these cards just a little smaller. Capricorn, the energy that you may be experiencing in the present moment is the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So maybe feeling like you don't necessarily have that stable home, success, career, life that you want. And that's Pentacle energy, which is Earth energy there. So maybe like not really feeling like you're standing in that abundance in terms of your resources and the success that you feel at home. Challenge right now is the Justice card in the reverse. It's a Libra moon right now. The Justice card can really be like about balancing right and wrong, good and evil, and it can have to do with the law, but it can also have to just do with some sort of divine sense of justice. So a challenge right now being that it feels like maybe there is some stressor related to how you're balancing the aspects of your life, maybe not really knowing how to make the best decision, and possibly more obviously, like it can have to do with like having legal issues. But I think this is more of like a divine major arcana card, so it might not be like literally having to do with the law, but feeling like there's some injustice that's been done, that you have done, that has been done to you, and it's feeling like that is, or a sense of injustice. It could just have to do with how you're feeling about the world. So just feeling like a sense of injustice is being done somewhere. In the recent past, Major Arcana card, the Temperance card in reverse. So this card is about, again, sort of a balancing card. This, angel is pouring water in between two cups, maybe, trying to determine which one needs more fluid at one time, or trying to make them even, but really balancing it out. So two balancing cards here, and again in the reverse. So in the recent past, maybe feeling a sense of difficulty with balancing, difficulty being patient. So like maybe a little coming out of this like impatient energy having to do with some sort of call. And I think, the call can really have to do with lots of different things. Really the Judgment card I would see more as the call, but any major arcana card seems to have a divine or big energy going on, sort of like a life transition, more than kind of just the day-to-day of the minor arcana. So this, sense of like really having a hard time balancing and feeling a sense of impatience is something that you've recently been overcoming, and now feeling like you're not necessarily having that abundance of career or family life that you might want, and it's challenged by this balancing or sense of injustice. And in the near future, you have the Fool card in the reverse. The Fool card in the reverse is maybe somebody who's being free-spirited, but in a way that is a little bit reckless. In the upright, the Fool card can be the Aries or Aquarius, like Uranus, eccentric, rebellious energy, like totally free spirit, jovial, like looking forward to new ideas and journeys and just doing it. This is really the 0 card of the deck. It's not even 1, 2. And this is just about free spirited energy of like, I'm feeling it, I'm going to go do it. And in the reverse, this card can be about being a little bit foolhardy and maybe jumping around, running to new opportunities in a way that is too quick, that can actually get you, that can actually like hurt you sometimes. In your conscious energy, you have the 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. So this can have to do with not being sure if something that you've invested more Pentacles, Earth energy there for Capricorn, not being sure if the time or resources that you've invested in a certain area has been worth it, instead of looking at kind of just like watching to see you've planted the seeds. I do see Capricorn as sort of the seed planter, so I sometimes feel of this card as a Capricorn card. The one who plants the garden, because the cardinal birthing Earth. So maybe feeling like something that you have put time and energy into wasn't necessarily worth it. Whether or not that's true, maybe that's how you're feeling or experiencing this opportunity. In the subconscious energy, you have the Knight of Wands. So more fire energy, like the King of Wands popped up while I was just kind of shuffling through the cards for you here. Knight of Wands is about inspiration and moving forward with gusto, and passion towards new ideas about inspiration. So this looks like a challenging energy in the present and in the conscious energy, but in the subconscious energy, you have this Leo season fire energy of passion kind of brewing on the underneath. And I feel like Capricorns are always kind of pushing ahead, doing their work, and they do feel inspired by usually something, enough to like keep grinding it out and working and keeping that self-sufficiency and that discipline and those boundaries intact. And so in that subconscious energy, you do have you're feeling like a sense of inspiration even behind all of this other stuff that does look a little bit like stress and difficulty balancing, and not being sure if the things that you put your time into were worth it, and everything. The advice right now is the 7 of Wands, so more wand energy, fire season, Leo season. The 7 of Wands is advice to stand up for what you believe in. So over here, you got this feeling of delayed, feeling overwhelmed by having to stand up for your beliefs, and maybe like going back to the past, or being nostalgic for something that was before, for something from your childhood, trying to work something out, wishing for that time, something having to do with the past. But yeah, feeling that sense of delay. So interesting that it does sort of, these cards that just popped out do kind of have to do with this reading. So the advice though is to continue to persevere, and to continue to stand up for what you believe in and what you think is right, and move forward with your passion projects, and know that sometimes it's going to feel a little bit like, I don't like to say a fight, because it sometimes is going to a little bit feel like you're having to defend yourself, and the advice here is to keep persevering and keep doing what you're doing passionately, even if you may be feeling like overwhelmed by needing to, kind of continually do that. The energy surrounding you is the Six of Wands. So more wand energies are really feeling like that fire. Like I was thinking, Capricorns might be feeling the low vibe of, the fire that's coming out of especially the end of Leo season here, with, the low vibe of what we can experience the fire as. Every element has a high vibe, a low vibe in between, but obviously fire can burn and destroy, as well as inspiring passion and new ideas and warmth and new creation from what has been burnt. But this is about sort of the energy surrounding you is like feeling like there was a fall from grace, some sense of egotism, either that you had or that someone else around you had, that is affecting this energy here. So like maybe being like too much in ego, or feeling like you had been at a higher place and had fallen, maybe is why you're feeling this sort of energy in the reverse here. Difficulty balancing justice in the reverse, like there's just been some divine call that is working to like settle out this balance or this lack of balance, and that could be kind of flavoring what you're feeling now as well. I hope is Page of Pentacles, so Pentacle energy, Capricorn, going back to that cardinal energy, kind of the beginning of that mode cycle, and feeling inspired to pursue new opportunities, new chances to build wealth, resources, whatever abundance means for you. So really, this is kind of like cardinal earth energy to me. Just the Page of Pentacles is going after new opportunities, especially when how it has to do with your work and your careers. And so that is sort of your hope, is that you'll be able to, bring this energy, maybe this subconscious energy of this fiery Knight of Wands energy towards whatever. This is a general reading, so maybe it's looking like you're wanting to work on a new business opportunity, something to do with your career, money, and resources, and having the sort of youthful, vibrant energy to allow that to happen. That's a hope. And the outcome of all of this is having trouble, Six of Swords in the reverse, Libra moon sword energy. So, in two places at least here, a little bit of Libra energy, and even a Temperance card in reverse is about that balancing. And Libra is, the scales, and the Justice card specifically. So this is about Six of Swords in reverse, having trouble letting go of some kind of baggage. And it's interesting again here because, you did get this card that flipped out before about the Six of Cups in the reverse. Oh wow, that is a six again. Six of Cups in the reverse, so sort of feeling like maybe like stuck in the past or nostalgic for the past. And if we're stuck in the past, we get depressed, which can be a little bit of earth sign stuff, but also, Capricorn, we get into stuck in the past, we can get depressed. If we're in the future, then we can really be in anxiety. And so really the best place to always exist, as far as you can try, is in the present. And that really reduces a lot of unhealthy thought processes. And so it's interesting that the Six of Swords here is like maybe having difficulty releasing baggage from the past to help you move forward, and that might be why you're feeling like delayed and overwhelmed by needing to defend your ideas. Or not why, but you're feeling delayed, feeling like you need to defend your ideas, and sort of like maybe feeling like stuck there in the past. With this King of Wands energy and the the Eight of Swords, that's feeling like confident, passionate energy, but also at the same time feeling like you're stuck and not realizing that you can unstick yourself. So maybe that's about trying to come out of the past energy and come more into the present, whatever it is that the present is, and then you can handle it and sort of move forward from there. So difficulty releasing some kind of baggage around a situation. So I'm reading this sort of as difficulty finding balance, not necessarily being where you want to with your career or your business ideas, and not sure if the work that you have put into everything is worth it for where you want to be at this moment in time. But the advice is really you have a lot of passionate fire energy here behind you, so like using that inspiration can be very beneficial for you, using that high vibe of the fire energy of Leo season, and defending your ideas responsibly as you work through this energy, because it's not just everything's kumbaya, everything's love and light isn't necessarily how the world really is. And so this is advice to just keep defending what you believe, and keep even if it's to yourself, keep defending that, whatever gives you that inspiration and that fire, like continue to follow that, and hopefully you can move towards this new business opportunity and not get lost in the heaviness of not necessarily feeling like you are where you want to be, and being too foolhardy about that, and losing ground where you could just rest for a little bit while you're thinking about stuff and then continue to move forward. So a lot of Pentacle energy, a lot of fire energy, so that's Capricorn in Leo season for sure. Feeling stuck and slowed down. And having trouble releasing things from the past. Maybe to forgive yourself and to forgive other people is something that could be helpful for now. Something to think about. Wondering, at least to explore what's kind of been going on for you recently. These three. Cup, you should accept valid criticism. So, I think Capricorns, it's Saturn. Contraction, constriction, self-sufficiency and discipline and grinding it out and getting the work done, and that can also include guilt, feelings of excessive guilt for not necessarily completing the work that you had wanted to complete. So that is something to grapple with from two angles. One, try not to be overly guilty about things, because that's just going to kind of get you trapped into its own form of, self-centeredness, to get too guilty when you could just acknowledge something that has happened and then move on from there, instead of just like stewing in the guilt, which isn't necessarily a productive feeling. But also it's important to feel guilt, because some people don't feel guilt, sometimes fire energy, and that is a low vibe, because then you don't learn so that you can improve for both yourself and the people around you and communities in the universe. So when there is valid criticism that somebody has for you that is truly constructive, meant for your good, or at least that is true and not delivered just harshly, and sometimes that harshness can actually lack truth. If someone gives you valid criticism, like, you can balance that and think about that and incorporate it into who you are without also getting overly guilty about it. So being able to accept criticism can be important. Heart, Leo season, love, deep affection, and caring. So I don't know anyone who has like a major Capricorn placement who I know who is not loved. I think there's a sadness to the Capricorn energy sometimes because of that sense of guilt and really having to work and in order to like feel like you're of value. But there's always, it's the one who plants the garden. We can't have anything if we don't have food that has been planted. And so there's a great deal of love to the Capricorn sign, especially during Leo season, the heart. There's a lot of love and caring around you in this energy. There's actually not a lot of cup energy going on here, except for, that Six of Cups in the reverse, and maybe that feeling like stuck nostalgic about the past or the childhood, needing to rework something from back then. But there's love and deep affection and caring around you for whatever it is that's going on here. And this, you should accept valid criticism. This could have to do with the energy surrounding you, feeling like, have fallen from grace in some way, overly egotistical about something. Maybe that's because when people do try to give you feedback, you don't necessarily take it. And some feedback is helpful, some feedback is not. But like the stuff that is helpful, it can help you kind of to reverse into like this place of grace, from lack of grace into grace. And an egg, success assured with good plans and hard work. So this is just true of earth signs. If you just keep doing the work and you do have a lot of inspirational energy behind you when it has to do with some like business or career opportunity, resource opportunity that you are moving towards. So this is exactly what Capricorn is about, and really earth signs. But success is assured with good plans and hard work. So if you just keep working at what you're doing, you will keep, moving towards this Page of Pentacles that you want to. It looks like, there's definitely stress right now. You're going through some sort of healing cycle. Chiron went into retrograde a couple weeks ago. It'll stay there until December. So this is like a really big healing time for really everybody. So I'm not surprised by a read like this. But just keep working hard in a way that feels inspirational for you. Doesn't just feel like work all the time. And you are guaranteed success if you just do the work. And not all signs are like that. But that's a really lovely thing about earth signs. Is that if you just keep going and you just keep grinding it out, one foot in front of the other, you can really have a tremendous amount of material success that not all signs can as easily have, without having to make some other sort of sacrifice of the self or something. Can I get 3 Prism colored cards for Capricorn, please? Prism colored cards for Capricorn, please. A lot of Leo fiery energy here. Energy, passion, and anxiety. So a lot of fire in this reading, so that makes sense. Interesting, I was feeling like called to talk about the fires for your read especially. Energy. When this card appears, it asks you to pay attention to the energy that you've either recently cultivated or would like to cultivate. Cultivation, Capricorn. Tap into the momentum of something that you've been working on. Get excited about a new project or even a seemingly mundane task like cleaning your home. Now is the time to pursue whatever has been calling to you. So use this passionate fire energy to move towards this, hope of yours for this Page of Pentacles energy, moving towards a new business or career or financial success kind of opportunity. Anxiety. I think anxiety, does come with Capricorn as well, especially with that guilt in there. When you're feeling anxious, it is usually because you're very worried about something that has an uncertain outcome. When this happens, we write a script in our heads, creating an outcome that is most likely far worse than the actual outcome. Try your best to stay in the present and not focus on events that haven't occurred yet. So, don't focus on the past. That brings anxiety. Don't focus too much on the future. That brings anxiety. Don't focus too much on the past. That brings depression. Do your best to stay in each moment. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and I think he's gotten his ideas from Eastern philosophies and a lot of different sorts of ideas, but really that the present is the only moment. The past is gone once we talk about it, and the future isn't here yet. So really, you're always in the present energy. So this can be maybe a call to just maintain mindfulness, keep working, but maintain mindfulness and try to just stay in the present instead of planning too hard about things. Make a little bit of a plan, but also, rest and just stay in the present. Passion. How you perceive passion can depend on what lens you view it through. Passion may be associated with lust and temptation, or it may suggest the optimistic action like a fire in your belly. This card encourages celebrating your passions in whatever form they take. It asks you to acknowledge the flame that sits within you, whether it is a deep conviction, interest, or love. Find what stokes your inner fire and embrace that excitement that comes along with it. So yeah, whatever is driving you, you're feeling naturally passionate towards, I think this is a call to go towards that. And you're feeling kind of stuck, possibly feeling a little stuck in the past, having trouble releasing this baggage, trouble finding balance, not sure if things are worth it, but there is something maybe that gives you fire, and I think this is a reminder to follow that and steadily. Also reminds me that passion, fire energy, Leo season. Capricorn is the knees and the skeleton, the frame, but Leo season is the spine. So there is that intersection at the spine, at courage, for the Leo season Capricorn reading placement. So following that passionate energy, I think, is a good way for you to go now, and just keep grinding it out, and success assured with good plans and hard work. And the Moon card. Okay, 2 came out. Your dreams need a practical... 3 came out. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus, earth energy. So yeah, to get a plan together, feel what that fire that burns in your belly. Use that inspiration, then get a plan together for how you're going to move forward towards that idea specifically. Earth energy. Work through your fears. Work, Capricorn. Work. Not that that's all that Capricorns are good for, but maybe it's a lot of times what Capricorns feel like success and love in. And so work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio. We just had a new moon. It was in Leo, and not in Scorpio, but Scorpio moon is coming up like tonight or into tomorrow morning. Scorpio season's coming up in like a month, and that it's going to be a couple months, but it's about to be a Scorpio moon. So like work through your fears. There's obviously like fear and trouble balancing going on here, but if you work, then you can like work through that fear, like literally just like keep grinding it out. Sometimes this stuff is not just spiritual in our heads, it's like actually practical, grounded into like our real everyday lives. Cleaning your house, this reminder that clean your house, if that's a good way to focus the anxiety, but make sure you're understanding that the spiritual world happens in our practical every day. And then luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius, so another new moon card when we're just coming out of a new moon. So like you do have luck here, and you have love surrounding you. And I think this is maybe just like a stressful healing time, because Chiron went retrograde. But if you put in the work, if you make a practical plan, you put in the work, you will have like the luck and the abundance that you want, and you'll have the energy, this fire energy that you can use to move towards this new business opportunity or career opportunity or new way to secure your money. And that will be forthcoming. Just have to be practical about what you do. And Capricorn, the earth is good at being practical. I get a roomy card for Capricorn. Passion of the Wild Red Mother. So fire everywhere. I really like when the roomy cards also match up with the color cards. Passion of the Wild Red Mother. Fire energy here with Leo season. The intersection of the spine, courage, between Capricorn and Leo. So the video's almost up to 30 minutes, so we'll just read briefly of 36. Passion of the Wild Red Mother. Don't ask the conscious ones about the wine. Behold the glowing effect of it in the eyes of drunks. I don't like the term drunks, but look at the people who are like enjoying the wine and ask them about it, to know all aspects. And you have that you have this passionate fire energy working with you now, certainly all of this wand energy. And the wand energy, most of it being in the upright, which means like taking hold of that wand energy to maybe overcome this fall from grace, or this, egotistical event that might have happened to you to make you feel the current way. So bring me your unreasonableness, your insanity, your love without reason, and your passion. The passion that makes you crazy and shoos all logical restraint from your mind. Leave your ordered thoughts, sensible plans, and appropriate attire at my door. Put on your animal fur and sing to me in gibberish. When my beautiful goats die, the sea goat is Capricorn. I make drums from their skins, and their spirits live on in my passionate play. When my birds drop their feathers, I gather them and put them on my hair. Come, drum with me as I place feathers in your hair, and we honor the spirits of my animals, of your animal nature too, wild and free as you are in truth. Stick your tongue out and growl at those who try to tame you with guilt, Capricorn, shame, and fear. Do you think that I give a damn for any of their silly games, those games of reason and logic? Of course, you should do it this way, they say. It makes sense, but I care not for what makes sense. I care for what brings you alive. So go towards that thing that makes you feel alive. There's obviously a stress and a healing going on here, but if there's something that is like, that sparks my joy, sometimes like going towards the thing that sparks your joy can give you money in abundance. That is not always true, but sometimes it's the only thing that can even give you the opportunity, because when the going gets tough, you will still want to do that work because you love the work naturally and it is your passion, and so you will put in the work to make the plans that you need, so that you can continue to put in the work on days that it gets hard, because days do get hard. So continue to follow this passionate fiery energy, and continue to follow the passionate fiery energy, but like have a plan so that you're not just running off the cliff because you're following that passion. Make a plan about that passion. You can have fire and earth together. It can be scorched earth, but if you make plans around it, if you have controlled burns, then you can, protect against these devastating fires. If you take care of the earth, then like little fires are natural. It's because we've destroyed the ozone and all of these other things that things are going out of control. So you can have scorched earth, but you can also use fiery energy to burn things down so that new can be created as well. That's not necessarily what's going on right now with the news and stuff and climate change, but the concept of that is something to keep going ahead with. So having plans, working through this healing, one foot in front of the other, and like going towards and moving towards your inspiration. All right, thanks for joining, Capricorn.